We have some shocking news that Connor Williams, the starting center for the Seattle Seahawks, has retired mid-season. There's some weird stuff going on this week in Seattle.
Yeah, 27 years old. Not really expecting this news on, by the way, on Sammy's birthday. Happy birthday to you, bro.
Thank you.
For your birthday, Connor Williams retired and gave you more Seahawk headaches. So happy birthday to you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. A rough Seahawks week, though. 27 years old. He is younger than I am now. And it's just weird to see. And especially considering the fact that Mike McDonald said it is not related to his knee injury. So first of all, I wish him, the best. They said personal manner. Like sometimes you don't know what's going on in someone's life or their family life. I'm hoping it's just a personal manner, like Andrew Luck saying he's done, right? Rather than obviously, hopefully nothing's wrong with his family. So wishing him the best there. I don't want to, crap on the guy for retiring at 27 if something actually is going on in his personal life. So, hope out there that it's nothing serious, but it is crazy news in a week where it's been kind of crazy for the Seahawks, man. We released Terrell Dotson. We talked about it last episode. So many changes for the Seahawks. And then for him to retire mid-season is a weird report. Not something that you would expect and not something that we expect as Seahawks fans.
No, not something we expect. But yeah, I've kind of come on to the point. Like, yeah, you can't, especially a game like football where there's so many injuries, so much wear and tear, so many hits, so many people get CTE. I can never, ever, ever blame a guy who got his money, made his good amount of money in his life, and is like, you know what? Maybe I have no idea what his personal reason is, but his personal reason could be as simple as I want to live a long, healthy life, and can't shame him for that.
Yeah, and that's why, I'm saying I don't know the reason. He's made $24 million in his career. It's probably fine. If he doesn't spend like crazy, he's probably living a good life. And, they say it's not related to the knee injury, but like you said, it could be related to other health things, right? Like I want to be healthy. Andrew Luck, his was not related to a specific injury, but he was tired of getting hurt in a ruptured spleen or a broken rib and a punctured lung and this and that and that. He was probably just tired of all the injuries. That's a possibility. And there's the possibility something happened to his family, but we don't know. So I'm not going to assume anything. But it is it's a blow. It's a blow for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter said, I really was hoping Connor Williams would stop snapping the ball over Geno Smith's head, but not in this way.
Yeah, for real. For real, not in this way. I mean, it's a sad or a weird way to go out, I guess. Not sad. It just depends what happens. It's hard to react to these sometimes, George, considering the fact that you have no idea what happened.
Yeah, I know. The reaction. And it's not like, if this is not our quarterback retiring in the middle of the season, you can say so much more about that. But in general, it is a blow, right? We finally got Abraham Lucas back. You're like, okay, maybe the offensive line can shore up a little bit. And then now we lose our starting center. And it's like, all right. And I do want to say, we do have the guy from Michigan who you pronounced his name absolutely perfect on our TikTok short and Instagram reel. So I wanted to just shout you out for that pronunciation, bro.
Well, I could have messed up something because it's Olusegun Oluwatimi or Oluwatimi, and I'm not 100% sure, but I remember when we drafted him out of Michigan, I spent a lot of time researching it so I don't get made fun of on videos. But it's either Olusegun Oluwatimi or Olusegun Oluwatimi. But either way,
could you imagine me trying to say that?
Yeah, you would have been like Alasagani Awatami. I mean, Toomey. I mean, Tom. And I'd be like, George, just let me say it.
That's why, even when we put out videos about Jackson Smith and Jigba, I always just say JSN.
Yeah, JSN's easy.
I can say it, but I struggle with pronunciations of people's names for some reason.
You get the tongue twisters going. But I'm going to rock the intro, George, even though it's midway through here. But I want to hit it so I don't have to edit this after and get it out to the people fast. And then I'm going to say something about you talking about the offensive line finally getting shored up. You're listening to the Sports on Tap Seattle podcast. I'm Sammy, and with me, as always, is my older brother, George.
Your favorite place to be a fan of Seattle sports. Now let's get this party started.
no party today. Well, actually, maybe I'm gonna have a few drinks and have a little hookah for my birthday.
Sammy didn't want to have a birthday party this year, believe it or not, guys.
I'm getting married in 9 days, so I got enough partying going on in Mexico next weekend. So I think I was just passing on this year's extra celebration.
Does the beard have anything to with getting married? Like, you usually have a nice long beard, but this is epic. This is one of your best works.
It's one of my worst works. It is being trimmed on Tuesday before I fly to Mexico because I'm just trying to grow it out for the barber to have a good something to work with, Nice little.
He's gonna have
nice
a lot to
fade.
work with. I trimmed mine yesterday. Figured that mine will grow by Tuesday when we go get our beards trimmed, so then they can retrim it up for me.
It's pretty short. I don't know. You should have just waited for the barber.
You know the problem with mine is right now. Let's see if you can guess.
I have no guess. I'm sorry.
All right, I am. So if you guys have watched this before, you probably, or even looking at us right now, you guys can probably figure out we're related. We're brothers. Some people think we're twins, but we're not.
I mean, the intro just said we're brothers. So
yeah, so we're brothers, and you can't see it now because I trim my beard. But when my beard grows long, I get the gray hairs everywhere on my chin, so I have to trim it. Like any longer, I was looking like salt and pepper, George Clooney type of stuff going on there, so I had to trim it up.
You're not retiring though, like Connor Williams is.
No, I'm not actually.
Unfortunately, you haven't made $24 million in like a 5-year span yet.
I think at 24 million, like whatever I'm doing, I'm probably hanging up most of my hard work. I'll say that.
Yeah, I still do something, but not.
Yeah, I'll still do something, but not that hard.
Well, he retired 27, and it puts the Seahawks offensive line in an interesting spot, George. I mean, they've dealt with no Abraham Lucas all year. George Fant's been on the IR. Abe Lucas comes back finally. Who knows how healthy he'll be? It's been a whirlwind cycle of him being unhealthy. And just like that, you get the news. DK Metcalf's back. Abraham Lucas is back. Oh, the Seahawks injury report looks pretty clean. And it's like, oh, Connor Williams out for personal reasons. Like, that's unfortunate. We'll get some Alusagun this week. And then it's like, just kidding. Mike McDonald at the podium says he retires for personal reasons, not related to his knee, and they do not expect him to change his mind this season. Now, I've seen a plethora of reactions on social media, including that's messed up to quit on your team mid-season. I hope everything's okay. I've seen everything. Now, there is something weird. I'm not going to assume, but let's just assume I want to hang it up, right? It's not a family, something's wrong with the family or something's wrong with him. Let's just assume like tired of getting hurt, whatever. There's been some weirdness on the Seahawks team.
Yes.
They've given up on Jerome Baker, who seemed to be also giving up on the team himself. And Terrell Dotson seemed to be happy to be released. He was over it. And now Connor Williams is like, it's not worth it this year. Let's retire. So if it's not a serious personal reason, it has been a weird season where we've talked about the Mike McDonald new coaching staff, whatever. I'm not trying to assume anything. I know you could get some hate for this comment, but like, are people quitting on the team? Is this team not that interesting to players? I don't know. Something weird's going on in Seattle these last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Like I said, we don't want to assume anything. I've kind of been on Twitter ridiculed for saying, well, I said one bad thing about Mike McDonald once, and I got so much hate because that's what we do as fans. Like, you protect the team under all costs type of thing. But it does feel like there is some disconnect. Maybe, well, that's okay. Sometimes you just need your guys. You know what I mean? Bill Belichick had guys quit on him. Bill Belichick had guys leave him. Bill Belichick had guys who hated him. I'm not saying Connor Williams hates Mike McDonald or anyone or any of those guys hate him. But until you get your right guys and the guys that actually care for you, I know Connor Williams signed with the Seahawks this offseason, so did Dotson and Baker. All three of those examples are guys that we brought in. But it's okay. Like, I'm not going to jump off the ship here, say it's like 100% something to do with Mike McDonald or the coaching staff, but I'm going to say it's something to monitor. We can monitor it.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying too is I don't know. The vibes are not as expected is a good way to put it, right? The vibes of, hey, we put this new team together. We got new linebackers. We got a new offensive lineman. We picked up these things. Those are 3 players, Jerome Baker, Terrell Dotson, and Connor Williams, that were not part of the Seahawks culture last year. These are all 3 brand new players.
Right.
All 3 of them are gone.
Is that why your good vibes sign is off right now? Because the vibes don't feel that good for the Seahawks.
It is off right now. No, it's more because it was a rush, but the vibes light is off. Actually, I haven't been turning it on the last couple episodes. I will only turn this on after a win.
I like that. Forward. You have to turn it on after wins.
Light on, that means things are going good. Light off, things are going bad. And right now, 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6 losses. Terrell Dotson released. Jerome Baker traded. Connor Williams retires. The vibes are a little off. And Connor Williams, let me start with this. Probably not as good as we expected him to be.
Agree.
I looked on PFF out of qualified players. He's 24th, but that's not like the minimum snaps. So if I take minimum snaps, let's at least do 20% minimum snaps. He moves up to 18th. That's not bad, right? He's almost middle of the pack, but signing Connor Williams, we were hoping would be a little bit of a big upgrade for our offensive line, a solid center that we haven't had since, I don't know, Max Unger. And so it hasn't been as solid as we thought. He's, maybe Olusegun Oluwatumi can kind of.
You're just showing off now.
Yeah, that was good. Unless it's teamy. I don't know, but I'm doing good enough. I know there's 2 variations. He could be a 20th best center in PFF grading or whatever it may be, but Connor Williams has had some mistakes. Maybe he's just done. He's been injured a few times in his career. He's gotten ridiculed by Seahawks fans on Twitter that he sucks. There's so many people in reaction saying, like, good, like move to the young guy and let's start working on this. Like, it's not going to be long-term with we weren't going to re-sign him next year anyways.
Yeah. And maybe anyway, he's done. Also, Lubin Matumi, by the way, was a pretty high and he was a really high rated center in Michigan.
Yeah, and Mike McDonald from Michigan. Let's not forget that. So was Jay Harbaugh. They were like, maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to say this, but like maybe there's some Terrell Dotson into this where like they're like, we're going to start working in night a little more, and Dotson's like, I'm out. Maybe they're like, we want to start trying out Oluwatimi a little more. Maybe Connor Williams is like, I'm done anyways. You never know what these vibes are, but right. I think in general, when you look at a lot of what we had this year, Jerome Baker's, Terrell Dotson's, Connor Williams, a lot of our free agent signings probably did not work out the way we thought they were. And now the Seahawks are moving to their young guys. And I think the Seahawks, despite fans never wanting to hear this, I'm not saying the Seahawks are conceding the year, but I think they are looking more towards the future now. This is unrelated to Connor Williams because I don't know what actually happened, but I'm fine with what's going on because now we're going to start seeing more young guys playing. The young centers, the young linebacking core. Ernest Jones is going to be someone we're going to re-sign most likely. He's been good since he came here. We didn't make that trade just to like as a rental for no reason for another rental, right? So all these were 1-year deals. I think we're starting to move towards the future. So whatever this Connor Williams thing means, I don't know, but I think it just means a little bit more outside of his reasoning. I think it's just now we're looking at the future more.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well said.
Fine.
Very well said there. I totally agree with you. And I think the analogy is they're not giving up on this, but they're punting and playing some field position.
Yeah. I don't know. What a weird week.
Yeah, I know. Well, hopefully we beat the 49ers and make the week a little weirder.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, actually, this young core is great for the Seahawks. All these retirements and releases were smart. And then we'd be happy. Well, shocking news. We just wanted to do a quick pod today, talk about this because it was not what we expected. I'll throw in our sponsor really quick, even though it's near the end. If you do want to bet on the Seahawks game, George, you want to tell them about Rebet?
The Rebet app is available in 46 out of 50 states. It's a social sports book. It's the only sports book that's available on the comfort of your own couch or in the car, but not while you're texting and driving.
Just say on your phone.
But you can do it on your phone.
In Washington.
In 46 states in the United States.
But for the Seattle people, use promo code ONTAP. We will get credit and be able to put out more episodes for you because we have a sponsor, and they will match you up to $100 with your deposit. $10 minimum, up to $100. If you put a $50 deposit, they will match you with a $50 free bet, and you can go bet the Seahawks plus 6.5 if you feel that, or bet against them, or bet the under, or bet the over, or bet some player props. You can do all of it on your phone in the state of Washington and many other states where you can only bet at casinos usually. So it's actually a really cool app. You deposit, you play with Rebet Cash. If you win, you can withdraw real cash. It's a big week. we need to win. I don't know what any of this means. I don't know if Oluwatumi is going to be good or bad. I don't know what's going to happen. All I can say is I hope that Geno Smith gets some protection because he needs it badly. And if he doesn't, we are probably going to lose to the 49ers. And as we said yesterday on our episode, this is kind of the season on the line. So if you want to watch that episode, it was yesterday on our page, but season is on the line. And we have a lot of changes on this roster. And just a 1 bye week span, George, just things are shifting.
Absolutely.
I don't know what's going on, but whatever. It's going to be interesting. Well, we'll be back hopefully after a win against the 49ers, and we will talk to you guys soon. You got anything else to say?
No, that's it.
Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. And George, you know what we like to say.
Thanks for stopping by.
Peace.
You're listening to the Sports on Tap Seattle podcast. I'm Sammy, and with me as always is my older brother, George. Your favorite place to be a fan of Seattle sports.